Live from the 607, it's the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour, where we're talking everything movies, TV, comics, and entertainment. Join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag ODPH, because here we go. Welcome to an all-new edition of the ODPH podcast. What is happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us this week. My name is Ken M. Joining me in studio, as always, you know him. He's the co-host. He's a man of 1,004 aliases. His name is Padawan J.
Let me talk to you.
And boy, we have a lot to talk about in the land of the parlay of topics. It's been a very, very busy week. Hopefully everybody has been keeping their head above water and really dealing with everything that's been going on, because man, it has been very, very busy behind the scenes here. But fear not, we have a lot of exciting things coming your way via Fanlight Zone and the ODPH. But if you want to find out more about what's going on there, Pat, where should everybody go?
ODPHpodcast.com.
Right on. Check out the social media links. Check out the TeePublic store. Check out the classified section, which has friends of the show, such as 3FM Podcast, Dragon Master Games, and, of course, Fanlight Zone, your home of comics pop culture. Also, check out the directory. Pat, how many providers are we on?
We are on 317,681.
And your source?
Trust me, bro.
So wherever you listen to the ODPH on, first and foremost, thank you for checking us out. It means the absolute world to us. We saw the subs blew up this weekend, so Thank you for dropping the subscribes. We definitely appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the content, and definitely interact with us on the social media accounts. We get back to everybody, whether it's on Fanlight Zone or the ODPH, because we're bouncing between both. That's why we stay busy, but that's what we do. And we're told about leaving reviews on your favorite podcatcher. It helps the algorithm. Who am I to say no?
Allegedly.
Last but certainly not least, we have a fantastic music section, which has such musicians as Brian Wolf and the Howlers, Second Suitor, Floodlands, Shout at the Robots, and Tom Jolu.
Hey.
Now, Tom Jolu has some amazing things happening. There is a live recording, I believe, happening here in the 607. So if you're in town, make sure you're following Tom and get more information on that. You don't want to miss him. He's amazing. Him and his band are amazing live. So if they're doing a live show, you definitely want to go there, and especially if it's going to be recorded, why not be on there? It's perfect sense to me. Also, he was teasing a new single. So I have to do some work in between everything going on at Fanlight Zone and such. So maybe we'll be lucky and get that next week. I don't know.
The man with 1,000 hours of free time.
Yeah, exactly. I know if I could only invest in that, I'd be a millionaire, but hey. It's what I do. And if there's anything else I might have forgotten, because like Pat alluded to, I'm a very busy person. ODPHpodcast.com. And also on social media, if you're using hashtags, why not use the hashtag ODPHpod? That said, we have to recap a movie that we have been keeping our eyes on. It was one that, dare I say, and Pat, you are the Star Wars aficionado of the entire Fanlight Zone crew. Maybe with Joey from So Wizard Podcast giving you a run for the money.
Yeah.
Has the hype for the Mandalorian and Grogu really flown under the radar?
I would say yes to a certain degree. Now, nothing will touch the hype that was leading into The Force Awakens. That was an experience unlike anything I've ever experienced or probably will experience again. I remember during those days, I would go to get lunch and news or spoilers would break almost every single time. It was absolutely bonkers. But I would say fans were excited for it, but are they excited for yeah, it's the first new movie in, 6.5 years, going on 7 years? Because, folks, Star Wars now, I'm not counting, re-releases you might have seen. I know Phantom Menace did one for the 25th anniversary. I believe it was 2 years ago now, or going on 2 years ago now. I'm not counting that one. I'm not counting something your local theaters might have done. A proper, new, hasn't been seen by anybody release since The Rise of Skywalker, in December of 2019. So 6.5 years, we're going on 7 since Star Wars has been in the theaters properly. So you would think there's hype. You would think that fans are over the moon. But by and large, I would say they're excited, but they're not exactly chomping at the bit.
Yeah, this one just really felt like there wasn't a huge buzz behind it.
Like they're excited, but they're not.
Exactly. Especially this is supposed to be the quote-unquote kickoff to the summer movie season.
Right.
And knowing that there was a Star Wars movie, I mean, if we're being very, to the definition, this is a Star Wars movie. To see this kind of just get a fair amount of hype behind it is kind of a telling story. Granted, there's a lot of things going on in that comics pop culture world right now. The Boys just wrapped up. Spider Noir is kicking off.
Which I forgot about.
Yeah, like I say, there's just a lot happening, and trust us, we're going to get to all that here on the ODPH Network. Rest assured.
Mm-hmm.
But with this going on, this really just did not have that huge, big fight feel, if you will.
Agreed.
And obviously, coming off the success of the Disney Plus show starring Pedro Pascal as Mando, this was expected to generate a lot more. Now, granted, you have the Hollywood numbers that everybody cares about.
I do.
So let's break that down.
So these numbers are for the weekend, this past weekend, where Star Wars Mandalorian Grogu was the number one film at the box office, making in over $81.6 million. It beat out Obsession at number 2 with $23.9 million. Michael with $20.6 million. At number 3, Devil Wears Prada 2 was number 4 with $12.7 million, and The Sheep Detectives was number 5 with $9.2 million. And then for numbers overall, again, so domestically, it has made $98 million and change. Internationally, it's made $63 million, and then for a worldwide total gross of $161,091,641.
So there's been a lot of success with this.
Yeah, if I read the one stat correctly, it's already made its budget. It's already made its budget back. So, hey, by Hollywood standards, it's a success.
Yeah, it's done its thing, but I know it's been very polarizing, I guess, to a degree.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm not saying it's to an extreme level, but it definitely has generated a reaction. So that being said, Pat and I are going to break down the movie that is got everybody talking here, and it's the Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, if you're new to the show, once again, thank you for checking us out. It means the absolute world. We'd like to give a spoiler-free statement about what we're talking about. After that, we give you a countdown, and they have to be like The Clash. Do you stay or do you go? If you stay, you're going to hear spoilers, you're going to hear theories, you're going to hear deep dives, you're going to hear everything uncensored that may ruin the experience for you if you haven't watched the show, or movie, I should say. But that said, that's why you can pause it, download the episode, pause, and then jump back in after you watch it, because Pat puts this timestamp in the liner notes of each and every episode so you don't get anything ruined for you. So that said, Pat, let us talk The Mandalorian and Grogu. Spoiler free.
You know, I didn't see this opening weekend just because I was busy. Life, hey, everything else. I did see this just the other day with you, and, I was kind of skeptical going into this just because I'd seen the reviews online. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes right now, with 269 reviews, it's got a critic score of 62%, and then the audience score is 88%. I saw some of the reviews online, and the one that really jumped out to me was, I know IGN reviewed it, and I believe they gave it a 5 or a 6, so which really shocked me. I was like, wow, like I wasn't expecting Empire Strikes Back level of, masterpiece, but I wasn't expecting, bottom of the barrel, type of thing. I was like, wow. So I went in with kind of mixed expectations. I went in expecting I would enjoy it because on some level, good or bad, I enjoy something about every Star Wars movie. And I thought it was good. Was it the best Star Wars movie ever? No. Was it the worst Star Wars movie ever? No. Is it in the kind of the middle of the pack for me? Yeah. I mean, for me, out of the 13 films, and I'm counting the Clone Wars animated movie among those, for me right now, it's 7th. The only things that's ahead of it are Phantom Menace, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, the original A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Revenge of the Sith. Counting up. That's the only things I've got ahead of it. It's good. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again. But did I feel it needed to be a theatrical release? No. To me, and I know I've seen this online, and I know we had some conversations after the movie was over. To me, this felt like they were writing the next season of the show, and then someone in the process, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, because Kathleen Kennedy, while she's not the head of Lucasfilm anymore, was the head of Lucasfilm while this film was being made, and she's got a producing credit on this film. Somebody along the way decided, hey, it's been, however many years since we've had a film released in theaters that's not Indiana Jones. We got to release something. We got to do something. It's almost like the contract that they used to have with the Daredevil films. They're like, oh, if you don't use the character every so often, the rights revert back. That kind of thing. But it felt like it was a season of the show. And if you really pay attention to points in the movie, you can almost tell where they would cut off for the credits.
Yeah.
But that didn't really take away from things. It just kind of, it didn't feel like necessarily the end result I would expect or the feeling I would get having come out of seeing a Star Wars movie in the theater. It felt like, I think they did something for The Boys where they were showing a couple episodes of The Boys in theaters. Mm-hmm. It felt like one of those type of things where we're like, oh, we're going to do an event and we're going to show a couple episodes of this show in theaters. It's a Fathom event type. That's what it felt like more, but I still enjoyed it.
For being what it was supposed to be, it was fine. But I agree with you. There is no way this should have been a movie. Mm-hmm. When you think movie, it is an event. It is a build from a TV show into maybe a possible finale.
Sure.
You would have to think there has to be something that generates that kind of momentum to create something like this. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, what we had here was, while entertaining, a complete misfire on that aspect. Because while there's a lot of good to be had about it, and we're going to deep dive into what was good about it, the fact that this was presented as a movie, I think, missed the mark. Mm-hmm. And I think that it really raises a couple questions about why we had a movie. Now, it could be because you have a Hollywood movie star in the starring role.
Sure.
With Pedro Pascal.
Sure.
It could be that maybe this was going to be the finale and nobody wanted to come out and say it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a debate, and I don't think that's any spoiler by any means. I think what you had was a very entertaining experience that really captured what we love about the show on streaming. Mm-hmm. But as far as the mass appeal of it, it is debatable, and I think there's a lot of fair criticism to be had.
Well, and especially, too, when movies are expensive these days. With everything else that's expensive, here, abroad, wherever you live. For us personally, we saw it matinee, which was, I think between the two, it was like, between the two of us, it was like $16 and change, $17 and change.
Give, take, yeah.
Something like that. I just, right now, as we're sitting here, looked up as if I was going to see, there's a 7 o'clock showing at our one of our local theaters where just one ticket with taxes and fees and everything else included, I went through the whole process right before I hit purchase, would be $18.99. Now, that's just for one. This obviously is a show where it was marketed towards kids and fans, and hey, if you've seen the show, you're going to want to see this. So let's just say you're taking a family of 4, you, wife, 2 kids, whatever else it might be, $18.99 times 4. Mm-hmm. That's expensive these days, So did I feel we got our money's worth out of it? I would say so. But for others, that's going to be a hard ask these days.
It is a lot. So we'll break it down for you because we're going to get into spoiler talk, and then let us know what you think. So that being said, Pad, 3, 2, 1. Let's really talk about it.
So like I said, it was good. I enjoyed it. It really felt like the next or possible final season of the show. They kind of leave it in a place where, you know what, if this ends up being the end, okay, I'm all right with that. They leave it in a place where, if they want to come back and do something more, if they want to move on to some other stuff, because we know Starfighters is coming out next year with Ryan Gosling. Mm. That's in a whole different time point in the timeline. That's going to be after Rise of Skywalker. This is taking place before all of the sequel trilogy. You know what? If this is where they want to leave it, okay. It was a good ending. It had a couple of interesting surprises I was not expecting. Mm-hmm. It had some action sequences that I really enjoyed. Particularly at the end, there was some stuff there we'll get to that I really enjoyed. And then there was some stuff that I'm like, you know what? I saw one person online say I think the runtime in the movie is like 2 hours and 12 minutes, 2 hours and 11 minutes. It could have honestly been 2 hours on the dot, and it probably would have been much better.
Yeah, there was a lot to enjoy with this, and I don't want anybody to think that we're being too negative about the movie. But when looking at the big picture, there's a lot that you can say they missed the mark on. Mm-hmm. And I feel as though if this is supposed to be the finale, which this is a soft finale if they want to go this route.
Yeah.
Because obviously Pedro Pascal is a very busy man.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Depending on if he wants to continue with the role. We don't know contract situations. I'm not going to try misleading anybody with this. But we have to kind of look at it and say, is this the end? Because this was building towards something. What we got was a great couple of episodes put together. But was it enough to say this was worth my hard-earned money to go to the movies? And granted, Pat and I are both huge movie fans. That's why we talk at Parlay of Topics, and one of them is movies, folks. But was this what justifying the ticket price Pat read plus everything else that comes with it?
Yeah.
And honestly, I have to say no. I think this is a great thing if you love the show. I think this is a great display of what is good with Star Wars. But I think for me going to the movies to see this, it just did not pack that same punch.
I'd say visually it was probably the best looking Star Wars movie Disney has done. Rogue One's up there, but I would say just for the visuals, it's probably the best looking one they've done.
You could make an argument. There's certain aspects you could definitely make that argument with. But I think for where we got to at the end, it leaves you looking for more.
No, I agree.
So we'll kind of have to see that because it opens up very easy with Din Djarin, a.k.a. Mando, and Grogu working for the New Republic.
And that's the thing I liked about this movie is you didn't need to have seen the entire show up to this point to go watch it. Does it help? Yes. But they give you the little title crawl at the beginning in case, hey, for whatever reason, if you missed the couple seasons of the show, they catch you up.
Which is nice. And especially it's dealing, we talk about this all the time with pop culture audience and comic audience. Same thing with Star Wars. You have a different audiences coming because they know of Pedro Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
And as wild as this statement might sound, some people might not realize that he is connected to Star Wars and doing The Mandalorian.
Right.
Granted, I don't know how that happens, but it does.
No, it does.
So them coming in very cold, you get a quick update. You get some great action to start off with.
Yeah.
They hit the ground running. They didn't pull any punches, which I liked.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, Star Wars is not exactly PG at some aspects.
Oh, boy.
The opening sequence where he's taking care of the Imperial forces.
Yeah.
Some of that, definitely not PG.
Wasn't exactly Vader in the hallway fight scene, but, boy, it was close.
No, but did its thing, and obviously started off events on the right foot. Because after you have the Republic trying to dictate their moves and what they're, setting up, Mando's coming in, doing the dirty work that the Republic doesn't want to get connected with, and winds up destroying the prime suspect that they're trying to find ship with him inside. So he goes back to the headquarters and, is not exactly greeted in the most positive manner, shall we say.
Well, yeah, he's a bounty hunter. They're hunting a target for information. At this point, the New Republic is still trying to figure out what it is exactly the Empire is up to, because this is the remnants left of the Empire, and if you want to find out what they're going to do, you need some of the figureheads or some of the higher-ups left in that organization to get said information from. And it's hard to get information if they're dead.
Exactly. So he has to go answer to Ward, the head of the New Republic's Adelphi Rangers. And Pat, who is playing that role?
Sigourney Weaver.
Yes. So amazing to see her on the show and interacting. And definitely a fun scene of back and forth, which Mando's ice-cold demeanor is not trying to break during Ward's addressing of the situation.
Yeah.
Because obviously he sees his way of doing business and she sees it completely the other way. But there is somebody in her quote-unquote deck of cards, that their most wanted list, that she is now thinking she has a possible lead to go get. Because they've been trying to track Commander Coin for what feels like an eternity by the way that she's presenting this.
And this person is so unknown that they got this whole deck of cards. Each one is a suit and a type of card. They got their faces on it. This one's, I believe it was the Ace of Spades. And they didn't even have a face. Didn't know where they were. Didn't know what they looked like. And even Mando is like, that's really not a lot to go on. Can you point me in a direction?
Yeah. And the direction, unfortunately, is to a certain pair of twins that, well, in Star Wars lore, are not exactly the nicest of people.
They're not the nicest to begin with, but then you realize who they're related to, and then you go, oh, this is even worse.
Yes, because he has to go visit the Hutt twins.
Who are related to Jabba.
Yes, so...
I don't think they ever said what the relation is. But yeah, they're related to Jabba.
Yeah, I think they're siblings of some demeanor because the job that they're willing to exchange for is they're looking for Jabba's son, Rada. And they know that he's on the planet Shikari. And they said, okay, if you play ball with us, we'll play ball with you.
You get us Rada, we'll lead you to Commander Coin, and we'll go from there.
And during this whole business ordeal, Mando is offered something by the Republic. And that is a new Razor Crest. So his ship is now back from the first season.
It's a new version.
Well, it's a new version, but I say it's back.
There was an explanation about where they got it from. It's not his ship restored. It's a different one, but it's the exact same type and model.
So during this, he accepts the deal. So him and Grogu go to Shikari. And after searching around, well, they find Rada is, keeping very busy these days.
Oh, yeah.
Pat, what is he doing?
He's a gladiator and fighting in a pit that is owned by a local crime lord.
Yes, so Rada is definitely not your average Hutt, if you will.
Especially if you saw him when he first debuted in the Clone Wars animated movie. Stinky got big.
Exactly. He has definitely not missed leg day, or weight day, I should say.
Holy smokes.
And he is voiced by Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
So very cool to see him there. I know everybody knows him.
From The Bear?
Yes. I was going to say, I always, when I think about that show, I have to pause because I love that show so much. But we see him now voicing him, and now he's making his way through Janu's pit because, Janu is, making some very solid bank on that planet. Everybody is scared to cross him. Even when Mando has to go shake down somebody for information.
Yeah.
That's definitely a little more difficult than he thought.
Well, yeah, because the whole sequence, once he shows up to Shikari, is almost a game of tennis. He goes to local, it's almost like a food truck type of thing, goes to speak to the guy working the food truck, ironically voiced by some dude named Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, that was wild.
You might have heard of him. You might have seen a movie he's done or two.
Absolute cinema.
I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio loves the guy. But yeah, so he goes to this food cart and goes, oh, I'm looking for a Hutt. And he goes, sorry, can't tell you, can't help you. No, nothing here. And then he goes, well, I'm looking for Rada the Hutt. And he laughs because he goes, oh, well, you should have said everyone knows who Rada is. And he points to a billboard behind Mando. He goes, oh, yeah, he's fighting in the local gladiator pits these days. So then he goes and talks to Rada. Well, Rada at this point is sitting in a cage cell in the building where the fights are held. And he basically comes up to him and says, hey, I'm here to rescue you. Well, why are you here to rescue me? Well, your aunt and uncle sent me. The twins sent me. They're concerned about you. And Rada sees through this immediately. He goes, bull. He goes, they want control of Jabba's empire, and the only thing stopping them and threatening them from that power is me. He goes, they want to bring me back and they want to kill me. He goes, listen, you want to rescue me, you're gonna have to talk to the guy who runs this thing, Janu. Well, so then he goes back to the food cart, and he goes, oh, I need to find Janu. Shuts the door immediately, and he starts freaking out. So then he eventually gets it out of him, and he goes to talk to Janu.
Yeah, so when he goes to have that conversation, it does not go as well as he would like. So Johnny Coyne, who's playing Janu, definitely is matching him for hamming it up in this moment. Yeah. Because all he's doing is saying, well, you should come fight in my pit. You should come fight in my pit.
Oh, we've never had a Mandalorian fight. We'd make a lot of money.
Yeah, which Mando is definitely not there to hear. And he's also going in with the notion that, Rada thinks that he's going to walk away from this after his next fight.
Because according to Rada, who says to Mando, he goes, listen, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm finally out from underneath my father's shadow. When I first started this, they booed me. Now they cheer me.
Yeah, so they have that speech, and that kind of stays with Mando as he's having this conversation. But for whatever reason, and this was a problem I had with the script.
Okay.
Janu has to go full supervillain and tell him his plan. Well, no, Rada's not going to make it. We stacked the deck against him. He's going to die tomorrow.
Well, though that was a little confusing, but he does tell him this and goes, "Oh, hey, let me do you a tip. Take all your money and bet it on him dying. You'll make a killing."
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think he misread Mando and what he was there for. That he figured Mando was there for nefarious purposes and wanted him for like seedy underworld stuff, not realizing he was there to rescue him.
That's what I say. It was kind of a weird thing, but it was something he missed on that pro tip.
Yeah.
So as Mando is going and he is, trying to work his way to go free Rada. Well, Rada doesn't want to go, tips off the guards, and they wind up getting Mando captured. And when he wakes up, guess what? He is in the pit fighting.
Weaponless, Grogu-less. Grogu's gone.
He's in a weird bird cage type deal.
Well, because Janu's got this weird obsession with animals.
Yeah.
And it's a whole taxidermy thing that he's got him mounted on his wall. He's got a bunch of living ones in cages, so it's a thing.
Kind of remind me of Jeff Goldblum in Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit.
A little bit.
But we see Mando and Rada go at it, which, I mean, fight choreography was very solid for this. All the action sequences were really on point. So definitely that was a kudo to them. But then, when the cage gets a little shocked, Janu decides to free more people to go finish the job.
Well, that's because it's supposed to be a Jajaric match. It's going to be, he's going to keep throwing fighters at Rada until he dies. So we don't know what the order is or whether, Mando's the first one, eighth one, whatever he is. Mando comes in to fight, tries fighting him, tries reasoning with him, doesn't work. He then disarms Rada, and everyone's like, oh, kill. Everyone wants him to kill him, Gladiator. I got it. And then he turns around and goes, I forfeit. I quit. Rada wins. You have to let him. Mando thinks he's found a loophole. He's like, oh, you got to let him out of his contract. You got to let him live. This and that. And Janu goes, I could, but no. And then he starts throwing all of these monsters at him, and they now have to team up and fight them. Fun fact with these monsters, if you look closely, these are the same monsters that Chewie and R2 were playing that tabletop game in A New Hope with. In live action, and they were making the same motions they did on that tabletop game.
Oh, that's a cool fact.
Fun little callback.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So we get this wild action sequence, and eventually the electric force field that is holding everybody in there breaks. And it's literally pandemonium in the arena, spilling out into the streets.
The zoo is loose.
It definitely is. So Rada is taking full advantage of this, kind of double playing Mando, and then basically
I'll get us a speeder to get us out of here. Bye.
And then takes off. So we have another great chase sequence going down, and eventually Mando has to catch up to him.
Well, he puts in a call to Zeb from Rebels, who's working with the New Republic, and says, "Hey, Zeb, I got a runner." So Zeb shows up because the thing was Zeb mentioned to Mando when he showed up. He's like, "Listen, we're so far outside the New Republic's jurisdiction." He goes, something happens to you in there, I can't call in an X-Wing strike team.
Yeah.
So he calls in Zeb, and Zeb comes in with the assist for stopping Rada.
Yeah, so they wind up getting Rada and escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rada is having a conversation with Mando basically about his future because he knows he's a dead man walking.
Yeah, he tells him, he's like, listen, I know what the twins want. They only want me so they can kill me and take over my father's empire.
Yeah, so during this conversation, Mando lets out that he's looking for Janu. Or say Commander Coin.
Well, yeah.
And then that's when Rada goes,
oh, I know who that is.
I know who that is. Janu is Coin.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun. Which I'm very surprised. Then again, like I said, all these very secretive stuff that everybody knows, they're just letting out like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Rada throws this at him. He goes, "You go back and get him. You got your one shot.
Yeah.
If you can pull it off, you got who you want. You don't have to deal with me. I'm safe."
Yeah.
And Mando dare I say, Grogu's rubbing off on him. Decides, okay, I'm going to take you up on your offer. So they go back and raid Janu's castle.
And it's funny, too, because they get to the castle, they start scoping the place out from a distance, and Rada tells them, they're like, you're going to need a lot of guys to get in there. Like, you're going to need to call in some backup. They do it with 2 people.
Yeah.
Just Zeb and Mando.
Yeah. So they wind up going in, and they take it down.
Yeah.
To kind of really sum up some time. They go in there.
It's messy.
It's very messy. It's not flawless by any means.
No.
A lot of high-speed chasing after that to get on the ship. But sure enough, they wind up capturing Janu and then taking him back. Which Ward is happy to see him. Don't get it wrong. But she also says, you've also ticked off the twins who we've built this relationship with over the years.
Well, they've been trying to.
Yeah. So they're not going to handle you breaking your word.
Nope.
And Mando is kind of brushing it off. So they wind up saying, okay, Rada, get clear, go. Because you're now going to be on the run the rest of your life. And Rada gives him a very heartfelt goodbye.
Yep.
He takes off. Mando goes back to Navarro. Grogu's there.
Yep.
He's got his little pit crew with him. The Anzellans. And all the while, everything goes dark as night.
Yep. Thunderstorm, lightning, rain.
And there's a figure coming in the distance. Pad, who is that figure?
That would be the bounty hunter Embo, who made his appearance first in the Clone Wars, season 2, I believe.
Yes. So Embo comes and winds up capturing Mando.
I'm not going to lie, part of me thought he was going for Grogu at first. And then I'm like, oh, wait, he's probably here on the orders of the Hutts.
Yeah. So sure enough, he winds up capturing Mando. Now, at this point, you could have ended the show.
Yeah.
You could have ended the movie right here and it would have been fine. That's your bonus scene, drive home safe. No, we keep going. So we now know that when Mando wakes up, he has to go meet the twins. Twins are not happy to see him.
Nope.
And we find out that they took care of Rada.
Well, they intercepted him.
Well, that's what I said. They took care of him.
Which I had a feeling would happen because when Embo is tracking down and going after Mando, he does see the ship leave that Rada was on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Rada's not got long.
Yeah, so you see this happen, and sure enough, Rada's getting tortured, and they're planning on torturing him for hundreds of years.
Hutts live a long time.
And the Hutts are saying, well, you know what? You've crossed us, so we're going to embarrass you in the worst way possible. Pat, what did they do?
They drop him into a pit where, no, not a Rancor, no, not a anything else, but it's a dragon snake.
But they also do one other thing, though. They take his helmet off.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want him to have public shame.
And because we, your enemies, saw your face, you'll be publicly outcast.
Yes.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's not the first time he's had his helmet off.
Yeah, I was going to say, and of course, Pedro's got to get his screen time in.
Oh, yeah.
We have to see the face, which I don't blame. It's the moneymaker.
Yeah.
So, that being said, you see him go into the snake pit. He's fighting off the underwater creatures.
Trying to.
He's trying to until he has to deal with the mighty dragon snake. And all the while, Grogu tracks him down.
Yeah.
So him and the pit
with the help of the Anzellans, yeah.
Yeah, the Anzellans come down. I call them the pit crew.
That's what they do.
Yeah. And they wind up finding him and helping him escape. But the problem is, during the fight with the dragon snake, Mando is bit.
The bit, stung, something.
Yeah, so he is now got venom in his veins.
And the twins even tell him, they're like, listen, even if you survive, this fight, you're not going to survive the poison.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he can only do so much. He's got adrenaline in his soul. Something. Cody Rhodes. So he is making the noble effort to get everybody to safety and get Grogu and the pit crew off the planet.
Yep.
And he thinks they do, so he goes back trying to take out everybody he can, but then winds up collapsing due to the poison. And during this time, too, Grogu comes back and tracks him down.
Yep, after Mando told him, leave, I'll protect you, I'll give you time.
Well, does Grogu listen to anybody? No.
Not usually.
No, he just does. He does his own thing. He's like, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, he is 50.
That's what I say. You're not going to tell a grown Grogu what to do. So he winds up coming back and saving him. He knows that he's dying, and he's trying to do everything he can. He magically builds him a cave?
Something.
Question mark?
Something.
Out of, no time.
Yeah.
which
there is an Empire Strikes Back. We don't know how long Han and Leia were traveling from Hoth to Cloud City level of time passing here.
Yeah.
There's a significant time passage that happens, but how long it is, we have no idea.
We have no idea. Plus,
it's a couple days.
If even, but the only thing that I have a problem with is all the while he's poisoned.
Yep.
How long does his poison take to kill him?
That's the ultimate question.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just chalk it up to what, Pad? Reasons. But here we are. So he's allegedly been poisoned, asterisk, for days. And meanwhile, Grogu is just running around.
He's getting him water. He's stealing food to feed him.
Yeah, like he keeps raiding this fisherman's house.
Yeah.
Which I shouldn't laugh.
I didn't think it worked the first time. It did.
But he keeps doing it.
And then he went back the second time. I'm like, there's no way this works twice.
Yeah, he does. I'm just like, oh my God, like, what are we doing here? But this is where you see Embo's coyote and him appear at the fisherman's house looking for Grogu. And the fisherman knows that he's stealing from him, and he's just like, yeah, cool, whatever. Like, I don't know why he was so calm about it, but it is what it is.
Oh, I think he knew who was taking it from him, and I think the guy knew that Grogu was of no threat.
Yeah. So he winds up helping Grogu. He said, "Oh, your father was bitten and he's poisoned." So he knew something.
Well, he was acting like Embo told him everything.
Yeah, like
because he knew about the twins. He knew they were wanted. He knew, despite us not having seen any interaction other than with him and Grogu and then him and Embo, somebody must have told him something along the way.
Yeah.
Or word must have traveled through the swamp.
Something. He knew more than anybody should have known. That was literally a random stranger.
Yeah.
So that was another problem with this. Is like, okay, what's he going to TikTok? Is he finding this?
Yeah.
He's going to TMZ. Are they hooking him up? Shout out TMZ. Either way, he has all the information, so he knows exactly what to do.
Yeah.
He gives Grogu this wadded up plant concoction.
This is after Grogu's force healed Mando.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes back in the cave, starts feeding him, whatever. And then, sure enough, Mando rises from the grave.
This is after a warning from the guy where he goes, listen, you can give him this, but it might be too little too late.
Yeah. So he winds up coming back there, and he's completely healthy, and he's ready to go. Cueing the 80s montage because he's ready to get fired up. By the way, they kept playing an 80s style music.
There was a lot of synthwave going on.
Yeah, like
not mad, but I was a little questioning it after a while.
I was like, okay, this is where we're going with it. All right, cool. Like, here we are. So we now plan to go back into the Hutt's castle and take care of everybody because he's now on his revenge tour.
Well, because they know his face too, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, so he's like, I got to take everybody out. Are you coming with me? And of course, Grogu's like, what else am I going to do? I'm driving. So they wind up busting into the castle. And of course, as much as they're going video game style, not as much as One Last Kill, by the way, but this was very video game-esque. They get stopped by Embo as they're about ready to go. The twins are freaking out, by the way, which was hilarious.
Well, because he came in armed to the teeth because the ship he took to get back there was the gun runner he put Rada, ship that he put Rada on, so it was a gun runner ship, so it's armed to the teeth with weapons inside. So he goes in like he's Rambo.
Oh, I know. This is the time you play the hate breed.
He even puts the knives in the boots.
Yeah, no, this is what I was saying. You needed some like real metal music and some real hard rock, like real hard rock to kick in and be like, yeah, here we go. Because he goes to the castle and he's just laying everybody out until he gets to the doorstep of the Hutts. Then he stopped because Embo is waiting for him. Even though like he had to go deal with like two huge droids which
I had a feeling when he first showed up, which I gotta say, and this was the moment I think I was like, I said something in the theater and you were like, wait, what? The security the Hutts had, a little lacking, I would say.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Because for if you couldn't pick up on it, they're modified battle droids from the Trade Federation.
Yeah.
So they're pre-Clone Wars era.
Yeah.
And they also had super battle droids, which were from the Clone Wars, which was how long ago at this point? No, granted, modified, changed, whatever else, but still. And they were using the STAPs, the STAPs that you see in Phantom Menace when they're on Naboo. They're using those for transportation.
Yeah.
You're telling me that this is the crime the crime lords security and transportation for their minions?
It was puzzling, to say the least. But, I mean, it's set up for the quick action that was going on.
Oh, yeah.
So, we now get our big showdown that's happening.
Yep.
Because Mando is fighting Embo.
Mm-hmm.
Grogu, he sees Rada imprisoned. He frees him.
Oh, boy.
And then Rada is like, game on.
This is a one-sided fight.
Yeah, he just starts whooping the sugar cookies out of the twins.
Mm-hmm. And the one even starts freaking out like, wait, stop, you're going to kill us both.
Yeah, and Rada's like, I don't care.
Because Rada's slamming the crap out of both of them into the ground, and every time he does it, you can see the ground start to crack and crumble underneath them.
He's doing takedowns like Habib in his prime. Like,
yeah.
It's just, he's mauling them.
Yeah.
So, he winds up cracking the ground that they wind up dropping in.
Oh, by the way, the dragon snake is still there.
Yes.
Still unleashed.
Yeah, Embo is like, I've seen enough. I'm out of here. Because they're dead.
Well, yeah, because he falls in there with them, and he escapes out the hole Grogu blasted for Mando earlier in the movie.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's smart.
Yeah.
And you see that Rada is saved because Grogu now uses the Force. After all this time.
Judge him by his size, do not.
Yeah. No, he sits there. He saves him, and then
the dragon snake eats real well.
Yeah, he ate him whole.
That dragon snake ate both of the twins whole. That thing ain't gonna be hungry for a while.
Right. So now you see the Anzellans are returned, and they bring a whole cavalry with them because word is there because
they left. They went to go get help. And the first thing they did, smartly, was they contacted the New Republic.
Yeah, so
they told him something. New Republic comes in, guns blazing. Sigourney Weaver's character shows up along with a lot of other familiar faces if you've seen the previous. This is where I say, you didn't need to have seen the previous seasons of Mandalorian, but it helps because some of those X-Wing pilots should have looked real familiar from previous seasons of Mandalorian.
So they wind up doing what they do best. They're getting ready to blow up the palace.
This was awesome.
Mando and company got to get out of there.
This whole fight sequence, especially the X-Wings flying, was awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, this is vintage Star Wars. This is right on point.
I realize I'm a sucker for that stuff, but oh, my God.
Well, they needed to do something because the fights were cool, but the problem was they started getting repetitive.
Sure.
And that was the only issue I had with it is like, okay, these are great action sequences. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, we've already done this. Like, let's go. And sure enough, Mando, Rada, and Grogu are at the edge of the building. They got to jump because the building's going to get blown up. They do. Yep. So you get that Hollywood-esque, fall while the building's exploding. Great sequence here.
Yeah.
They hit the water, even though, like,
Rada's like, that's that demon. We're not going to survive.
Yep. And they do.
Yeah.
They wind up doing it. So
reasons.
It's reasons. It's complete reasons. But you know what? At this stage, we're like, okay, we're already here.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah. Like, I was just waiting for the snake to come slithering out at him. That would be the ultimate thing.
Somehow, with the way the building exploded, I don't think the dragon snake survived.
Listen, I'm just saying there might have been a way. I mean, granted, he was carrying a little extra weight because of the huts, but still, he might have at least got his head out there. And then they were going to have to do something.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, they have now freed the planet. They go back to the Republic's base.
They've also created a massive power vacuum in the crime syndicate, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, they'll open the door for the king to come back because Boba's still there.
Allegedly.
Season 2. Let's make it happen. But we see the ward, catches up with Mando, and sure enough, Mando was right, or Rada's info was right. Janu was Coin and working with the twins, and they're all playing each other.
Coin sung like a canary, told them the whole thing, and at that point they realized, oh, crap, we got to go save you.
Yeah. So it learned that his testimony led to the rescue, so it helps save the day.
Yep.
Rada decides that he's going to join the Republic.
Yeah, I did not expect this to happen, although given what he said during the movie and wanting to escape his father's shadow, and really he didn't want to become another version of his father, makes sense.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how he works his magic in here.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because Rada tells Mando, like, oh, yeah, I want to work for the New Republic. And Mando goes, listen, not to be blunt, but I don't think you'd exactly fit in.
Yeah.
And Zeb pipes up and goes, yeah, actually, you know what? I think I got a uniform big enough for you.
Well, I think Mando, for whatever reason, is still trying to say, like, he's not a good guy.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily that. I think it's the fact that, initially, and it will take time, but knowing that, that if you were in the department or whatever Rada is working in, saying like, oh yeah, my coworker is the son of Jabba the Hutt is going to make things a little awkward for a while, especially for as much damage as Jabba did over the years.
I mean, listen, he's just got to come in, give some high fives, like, hey, like he's ready. You know, maybe come in with some breakfast one day.
Yeah.
You know,
That does help.
It does help. It does help. You know, like I say, making a first impression. So, you know, maybe I'll hook something up for him. You never know. He seems very game to do that.
Yeah.
So, that being said, Mando and Grogu take off in the Razor Crest, and Mando is finally going to teach Grogu how to fly it because they had that little sequence in the beginning.
Well, it wasn't even the beginning. They had that in the beginning, but then they had the part when they were trying to get Coin off of his base planet thing. And they're like, oh, start the engines. We got to leave, we got to leave quickly. And he almost killed him. So he doesn't know how to pilot the ship.
Tomatoes, it's all produce. It all works, though.
Yeah.
But that's how it ends. So there was a lot to enjoy with this, though.
Yeah.
Like I say, it was kind of very straightforward, but as you could tell, like you could have split this in two scenes.
Yeah.
Two episodes and you're good.
The sequence up to where they get rescued, captured, whatever you want to say, Rada. That's the first couple episodes. After that, where you get to Coin and you get Coin back to the New Republic. That's another couple episodes, and then from there to the end is a couple more episodes.
Yeah, like
but it works.
It works, but it goes back to the factor of you're going to the movie theaters for this.
Yeah.
I think this is going to do gangbuster numbers.
Probably.
On Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, the box office, it'll do okay for now.
Yeah, it'll do fine. It's already made its money back, so hey.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a big bucket to win. And you have to go by the performances, too. Pedro Pascal was doing Pedro Pascal things.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wish maybe they did differently is there was an underlying theme of what is Grogu going to do when you go?
Right.
When you die.
Right.
And he kind of kept brushing it off.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was a couple times like he was teaching him how to fly was the only time that he ever really addressed it.
There was the line they used heavily in promotion where it's the old protect the young, but eventually the young have to protect the old.
Yeah.
And like they just kept kind of setting up for this whole like he's like, especially when there were the moments in the movie where like he was teaching Grogu how to get ready for battle. That like, oh, you got to make sure your armor's snug but not so tight that you can't move. You know, you got to check your armor. You got like it felt like they were setting him up for something, and then it like okay, yeah, he fought and he helped rescue Mando, but it really didn't go anywhere other than that.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a weird thing that they were teasing it, but they didn't want to fully commit. Which, yet again, we're now at a movie. If we're now at a movie, you got to have something major for this. Like you think about any time a show, whether it's been a cartoon, whether it's been an actual show, makes the jump to a movie screen. It's a big deal. It's the end of the end. Like you can range this from Transformers to Entourage, to whatever show you've seen jump in. I'm just thinking top of my head, folks. So
sure.
Hashtag ODPH pod. We can talk about it. You think about anything like that, it's been either the finale,
sure,
or at least it's been something to set forth like a new era. I did not feel that from this. And if this is the finale, because it quite possibly could be, we don't know about anything more happening in the land of...
For Mando, no.
No. But we have to, keep this in consideration that we're still going to wait and see. I just feel as though we had some great acting. I mean, Mando and Grogu is always an entertaining trip. There's still a lot of the same what does Grogu know to what he doesn't know taking place. That's still there, which it is what it is. I feel as though when we started getting into the plot, there was a lot of very Disney moments. And granted, I know it's a Disney show, but still there was a lot of just, too safe a place.
Right. I mean, my whole thing with this is, at least with the story, they've been setting up and trying to, I don't know if retcon's the right word, but improve on the story faults with Rise of Skywalker and the sequel trilogy at large, where, hey, all of a sudden, Palpatine's back. Why? Reasons. And they were clearly trying to build that and set that up and get that going with Mando and the whole Mandalorian show. There's literally no mention of that or anything. At this point, we know what it is. You know, it's like the worst kept secret. But there's no mention of that. There's nothing set up with that at all. And from the way it looks, they're going to be pivoting away from this whole period in time, which, okay, but you're leaving a lot on the table. So what's going to happen? Are the comics going to have to pick it up? Are the books going to have to pick it up? That's fine. Not everyone's going to read it, and some are going to get lost out on the stories, because the only things we know that are coming out, or the only movie we know of that's coming is Star Wars Starfighter, which is coming out next May. And then for the TV shows, there's The Ninth Jedi, which was one of the Star Wars Visions episodes. They're doing a series on that, which, okay, fine. Ahsoka Season 2, which, okay, could you plausibly do something with Palpatine in there? Sure, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then you've got Maul Shadow Lord Season 2, which, could you allude to something going on with Palpatine, during that? Because, well, you couldn't, because that takes place before Rogue One. Rogue One and Solo. So you can't do anything with that. Outside that, there's a lot on hold. There's a lot that, we don't know what's going to happen with it. But that's kind of it. So, what are you going to do with this whole storyline that you've been trying to fix and kind of tidy up and Band-Aid a little bit, that now you're kind of just going to leave by the wayside?
Yeah, they should just transition to the comics and Marvel. I know we have some great friends over there that listen to the show. Just put Ben Piercy on the book and let him cook.
Charles Soule, Ben Piercy.
No, Mando's character is geared up for Percy's writing.
Yeah.
I don't know who you get as art. It doesn't matter. Because you guys always pick great artists for the.
That is true.
Star Wars. Yeah, that's why I said it's that point.
Phil Noto comes to mind.
Yeah, it'll just take care of itself. But like I say, that's where you should go with it. And then if you want to come back to it because of reasons, fine. But I think if this is supposed to be the send-off,
it works.
It works, but it's missing something.
Yeah.
It's missing that, the gravitas, if you will.
Yeah.
It's missing like the big moment that you go, oh, like here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that said, if I have to give a grade on it, it's a 7.
Okay. 7
out of 10.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's 7 out of 10, 3.5 out of 5. It's good. Would I rewatch it? Yeah, I'd rewatch it. Am I chomping at the bit to go back to theaters or rewatch it day one on Disney Plus when it drops? No, but if I decide to do, a Star Wars rewatch, because it's been a couple of years since I've done one of that, would I rewatch it? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely worth a rewatch. I just would not go to the theaters to rewatch it.
Yeah, no, probably not.
For me personally, there's not an incentive. It's a great show, but there's nothing that when I see this on Disney Plus when it comes out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, man, I wish I saw this in a theater.
I'll say this. I'd go rewatch it in a theater, but only if I'm not paying for it. If somebody's picking up my ticket,
sure,
I'll go see it. But am I going to pay again to see it again in the theaters? Probably not.
Yeah, that's the only problem with that. I mean, there's a lot to enjoy about this episode.
It's good. Like if you ultimately at the end of the day loved the Mandalorian show, you will love this movie.
Yeah.
But if you're just a casual Star Wars fan who might have seen a season or two, might have caught an episode or two, and you're looking for that fix, because let's face it, Star Wars right now until. Star Wars is effectively in kind of a lame duck year until next year, because let's face it, next year is going to be the 50th anniversary of the film for our first film coming out, A New Hope, and they're going to go bonkers next year.
Yeah,
this year's effectively a lame duck year, where you've got stuff coming out, but it's kind of like we're just getting it out to fill the time.
Yeah. So that being said, currently in theaters, Mando and Grogu is out. Hit us up on the hashtag ODPHpod. What is your thoughts about The Mandalorian and Grogu taking the leap from the streaming service to the big screen? And did you enjoy it? Did you not? And why? Let's talk about it, shall we? But first, we're going to get a quick breakout. We'll be right back.
You ever wondered what comics Mark from Vale is into? What Zach from Left Behind's favorite MCU movies are? Well, Metalcore Nerds is the show for you. My name is Sean Mott, and here at Metalcore Nerds, we cover the latest things in pop culture, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, DC, AEW, and everything else in between. You can listen to the show every Monday on Adobe Howl at 7 p.m. Eastern, or find it anywhere you find podcasts after it debuts on the radio station.
Coming back for another segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast, and it's time to talk a little pro wrestling.
Oh, baby.
So this weekend, the WWE is going to Europe.
Uh-huh.
Italy, to be exact.
Oh, yeah.
Because, Pat, what's going down?
Clash in Italy taking place this Sunday. Yes, that's right, Sunday, not Saturday. taking place in Turin, Italy at the Inalpi Arena. Taking place 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific here in the States. So a little lunch with your pro wrestling with your lunch, a little pro wrestling with maybe a brunch for those of you who might have brunch on the West Coast out there. But yeah, taking place in Italy.
Yeah, so this is one of their PLEs / paper.
They call it a PLE. I call it a pay-per-view because if you pay $30 to see something, well, that's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, so the card itself is very interesting. So we're going to break it down and kind of recap a little bit what's going on in WWE. So, Pat, let's kick it off.
So let's start with the one that I don't think if you'd have told anybody, actually a month ago, they would have said no, and that is Obafemi taking on Brock Lesnar in a singles match. So let's not forget. Obafemi was doing the open challenge and whatever else. Brock Lesnar Brock Lesnar came out, was doing I'm doing a challenge. Anybody who wants to face me? Obafemi answered, said, if I want to face you, WrestleMania. They will face the WrestleMania. The match was very quick. And then at the end of the match, Brock Lesnar appeared to have retired. Took off, threw up the X, the traditional symbol that referees will throw up when, hey, this is legitimate, this isn't fake, somebody is actually injured. He took off his gloves, took off his shoes, left the ring, was sobbing. Paul Heyman was shocked. Everybody was shocked. We were shocked. And then, lo and behold, about 2 weeks ago now, I want to say, about 2.5 weeks, whatever it is, when Obafemi was doing one of his open challenges, where at one point he had to go drag 2 wrestlers out from the back and wrestle them 2-on-1 in a handicap match because, nobody wanted to answer his open challenges. Obafemi was coming out for one of his challenges on Monday Night Raw. And before the lights could come back up after his entrance, and he's standing there posing in the ring, a rather gargantuan figure assaulted him and knocked him over and started attacking him. And who was it? Well, it was the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Apparently, rumors of his demise were greatly exaggerated.
Well, it makes sense on a heel aspect.
Yeah.
Because the long rumored thoughts of Lesnar is he's going to retire at SummerSlam.
Still a longer fake retirement than Mark Henry.
Right. Which, listen, if he came out in the suit, that would have been the greatest thing.
Oh, baby.
Even if it was like ripped with the sleeves off or something.
That'd have been great.
It still would have been epic.
Well, he is ripping his pants these days.
Well, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell Brock anything.
Yeah.
It's Brock at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But at least this builds up the Oba feud a little more. I mean, they honestly have not done a tremendous amount with Oba since.
He's had some decent matches.
Right, but they're building him up to be in that Lesnar role.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's nothing against Oba. Oba's a future world champion, trust me. But I think for the storyline, it adds a little more to it. I think at the end of the day, Brock should win.
Probably.
Because it's not going to hurt Oba. Now, I know somebody's going to say, wait, hold on, this should not happen. Okay, this is the scenario. Brock wins, right? Or Oba wins. Where does he go from here?
Yeah.
You have to put him in the world title picture immediately, which I've already said he's going to be a future world champion. I just don't think you want to do it that soon.
Yeah.
However, WWE has been on very shaky booking. If you've been listening to 607 TWS, the wrestling show every Thursday night on Fanlight's on YouTube, I could see them doing it just for the shock value factor.
Yeah, I could.
But I think what will be the smart thing to do is let Brock win.
Yeah.
And then you run it back at another show before SummerSlam.
Let's see. After this is Night of Champions, which is the end of June. You've got a Saturday night's main event after that, which is mid-July at Madison Square Garden. So, possibility there. After that is SummerSlam at the beginning of August.
See, I think you go MSG. You tease that rematch.
Yeah.
The trilogy fight.
Yeah.
It's like what boxing does when they do it well. So I think that's where you should go with it. But if Oba wins, mark my words, he's going to be going to the world title picture.
He should be. My expectation with this is it's going to be DQ of some sort, count out, DQ. They're just going to be looking to tear each other apart. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, because let's not forget this, if I'm not mistaken, this first match this is going to be the first match on the card. It's going to be on ESPN or one of the ESPN's channels again.
Yeah.
So they're going to look to really feature this. I would expect this to not get a traditional finish where like I'll pin 1, 2, 3. I'm expecting this to either be a DQ or a count out, so that way they can continue. Like, hey, listen, we gotta figure this out. We gotta solve this, and you can further the story along that way.
Yeah.
Next up is a singles match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship with Becky Lynch defending her belt against Sol Ruka.
Well, Ruka has been making waves, no pun intended, since she came up from the NXT roster. The feud with Becky, it works.
It's good.
It's good. I know when they were teasing about the whole non-title picture for their last encounter, that really took away a little bit. So now the belt is on the line, and I think you have to give the belt to Ruka. I think giving it to Sol, granted, some might say too much too soon. I don't think so. I think it helps in two aspects. It makes Ruka an immediate superstar on the main roster. And plus, she can start having feuds with other people and really starting to get accustomed to what goes on for those big shows, Raw and SmackDown.
Well, yeah, I agree. I think at the end of the day, it should be Sol just because, well, let's face it, since she's been on the main roster, I don't think she's picked up a single win on the main roster, so she's about due. And if she's got a win, it's like one. So I think Sol's about due for a win. But I also think at the end of the day, Becky Lynch has done everything she can with the title at this point in time.
That was my second point, yeah.
That's not to say she can't come back to the belt at some point after some time away and do something after it's been refreshed. And I'm not saying the belt is stale, but just what she has done with it, it's like, okay, we've seen this. Like, it's nothing new. She's been going around saying, she's the greatest wrestler of all time. Everyone's saying it. Sports Illustrated is saying it. Bleacher Report is saying it. Like, she's been doing this for a while. That, like, it works. It's fine. I've got nothing against it. But just, you know what? I don't like to drink the same thing every day. Sometimes some days I like Coke. Some days I like 7-Up. I like a little variety in my life. Becky's a great champion, but, I think it's time for a change.
Becky does not need the title.
No.
It's established. It's going to when she came in, I understand why, but she did not need to hold on to it as long as she has. She's a main eventer. She should be in the world title picture. So I am completely fine with this. Now, granted, I don't see her feuding with Liv anytime soon.
Well, Liv is lacking in the opponents category these days because there was somebody who tweeted, quote, "Genuinely, why is nobody on the roster trying to go after Liv, bro?" To which Liv Morgan quoted it, and this is on May 25th, if you want to go back to her on her Twitter thread and find this. She quoted said tweet and said, quote, because they're a bunch of, cat emojis. So she is lacking apparently in the opponent category these days.
Well, I think in her case, you can always plug and play her because she's the champion.
Yeah.
It's a good storyline. Now, granted, if they want to do her and Becky, I have no problem with that.
Neither do I.
I think that would be smart money to do. But it all depends on what they want with Becky. Is she ready to, I don't want to say go part-time status, but...
I think she already is.
Right, but that's the whole thing. Like, could I see her leave after this? Yeah. And it's fine that she just needs to come in for the larger shows and be good. Yeah. She's earned that right. Yeah. So they have a lot of options to go with, but I think as long as Ruka wins this one, they'll be fine.
I'm all right with it. Next up, we're going to talk about the singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship with Cody Rhodes defending his belt against Gunther.
So this feud honestly feels thrown together. I'm not in love with this feud. There is very few things I like about it. Granted, we had to kind of separate Randy from him for reasons and get away from the nonsense involving WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But for Gunther, it kind of makes sense.
It feels like a break glass in case of emergency type of thing.
Well, he's in a weird situation because you take a look at everybody. He's retired. Okay, so where does he go next?
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right.
Going after a world champion makes sense.
Yep.
But if he fails at this, where does he go next?
Right.
So I don't think they're ready to give him the belt just yet. I mean, if they did, I'm all right with it. But I just don't think it's his time yet. I could see Cody retaining because I think there is a lot for him to maybe start feuding with somebody else if he wants. But, if you give the belt to Gunther, it's not a bad thing either.
No.
So, all right, I guess if I got to make a prediction, I'll say Gunther.
Yeah, I'm going to say Gunther as well, just because I'll be honest, I don't get to watch SmackDown all that often just because I'm usually busy with my wife on Friday nights. Either out to dinner or out, with friends or what have you. So I don't but I catch the highlights. None of what has been going on with this feud has been like, yo, have you seen what they're doing between Cody and Gunther, the last couple weeks? So like it's been fine. It's there. I don't hate it, but I'm also not like singing its praises from the mountaintops. So I think ultimately at the end of the day, they'll go with Gunther. Reasons.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I like I say, there's no excitement about this for me, so I could go either way.
Yeah. Then there is the singles match for the WWE Women's Championship with Rhea Ripley defending her belt against Jade Cargill.
So I think this is probably the safest lock of the night.
Uh-huh.
There's no way Rhea's losing.
No.
Jade and her reign was okay. But I feel as though something just isn't clicking there as far as the WWE universe. I mean, she is a star. She handles herself very well on the media tours. So it's not like she's going to be going away from the title picture. However, though, Rhea is the star right now.
Absolutely.
So depending on who they have in thoughts for her.
Yeah.
And granted, there's a lot of challengers that she can go up against.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is probably the easiest one to say. Rhea walks away with this one with the belt.
Agreed 100%. Then, let's face it, this is the main event. This is what's going to close the show. It's probably going to be a half hour, 45 minutes in match time. In a tribal combat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, you've got Roman Reigns defending his belt against the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
So this feud has gone completely off the rails, in my opinion.
Started good, and then it kind of went left at Albuquerque.
Well, the problem you have is Roman back and reforming the bloodline.
Even if they don't want to say it.
Right. That's the whole problem. They don't want to say it, but it's happened. Because now Jimmy and Jey Uso are with him again.
Yep.
You're now having him running around dealing with Jacob Fatu, who is doing his best Clubber Lang impression from Rocky 3.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I love this for his character because it makes sense.
Yeah.
However, though, you have the match at Backlash. It's kind of a little messy in certain aspects.
Yep.
Roman cheating to win.
Yep.
It is what it is there.
Yep.
And now and granted, Jacob goes crazy at the end, which is fine. Makes perfect sense. He's
his character.
That's his character.
Yep.
So the fact that they're adding this stipulation about you will acknowledge me. So, okay, you've now put yourself in a corner. Two options happen. Roman wins, Jacob joins the bloodline, and then what happens with his character unless he goes completely rogue and tries taking everybody out from inside, which I guess you could try. Or you have to do what I think is the smart thing, and granted, I know some might say it's hot potato, but I think, honestly, it doesn't hurt to do. Jacob beats Roman, and then what happens? The new bloodline's broken. Like, how do you do this? How does this happen? Let Jacob run crazy with the belt. I think there's more mileage to be had there than Roman winning because but granted, you have to line the dominoes up now. Unless you're building for Roman Oba at SummerSlam, what else are you going to do here? And that's the problem when you have the bloodline back together. The bloodline was you could make the argument it's the greatest wrestling storyline of all time. You're trying to reduplicate magic. I don't know how that's going to go over, folks.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say this. I would love to see Jacob Fatu win, and I'm going to put it out there right now because I just can't see him being, the muscle for this. He's going to be the Solo role. Which Solo was great in, but it ran its course. And then what do you like? I just don't get it.
This match is going to be wild and chaotic. It's a tribal combat match, which basically it's a no DQ match or a no holds barred match. It's basically, anything goes. No one can be disqualified. You get weapons, outside interference, but you have to make the pinfall in the ring. So this is going to get wild. I genuinely have no idea how this is going to go just because I can see this going 8 different ways. I think ultimately what it's going to lead to, though, is in some fashion, one way or the other. At some point, I feel like Roman's going to have to ask for more help, because I don't feel like this is done after this card.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 2 weeks ago now. It wasn't last week. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, where Roman, Jimmy, and Jay were trying to fight off Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fighting him off, doing this, doing that, and they got their butts handed to them.
Yeah.
And they pulled the old Triple H. Oh, we're going to show the executive producers at the end, but hey, that ain't the end. And Roman was over by the timekeepers area, and you had Jimmy and Jay there, and they were checking on him and making sure he's okay. And Jacob was walking out, and then he decided, you know what? I'm not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
And he took out the three of them, and he's been wiping the floor with the three of them for the better part of a month now. I just get the feeling that at some point, whether it's Sammy, I think it's ultimately going to end up being Solo, just because what the hell is the guy doing these days? Mm-hmm. That ultimately at the end of the day, whatever it ends up turning into, it's going to result in Roman going, listen, I need more help taking care of this Solo thing. I'll owe you a favor.
Yeah.
But who wins? I mean, I literally have to flip a coin.
You take Roman for...
I'm taking Roman.
Take that, and then we'll have something to compare notes with for next week.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, though, WWE has been making some quiet moves here and there.
Yeah.
NXT has been on fire.
Yeah.
Probably the most devastating news to the ODPH is Logan Paul tore his bicep.
Paul. Can we fire Logan
No.
Paul?
Can we admire Logan Paul?
Listen, WWE, get that on streaming services ASAP. That's all I'm saying.
Joe Henry prints money.
This is very true. Also should note, because the card is taking place on Sunday, Monday Night Raw is also in Italy and will be on Netflix 2 p.m. Eastern. So check your local listings when it'll be on in your area.
Yeah.
But if you go to watch it at your regular time, you'll be watching the replay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But we'll still be recapping everything here, so hit us up on the hashtag ODPHpod. Clash in Italy, what is your thoughts for WWE's big weekend? If you're looking for more pro wrestling talk, 607 TWS, The Wrestling Show, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fanlight's Zone YouTube. That said, we're going to get one last breakout. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you better listen to the ODPH podcast, or I'm coming for you, and Batman is coming for you.
Coming back for the final segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. Pad, what you got?
Got a couple things to talk about. First of which is the local minute. And looking at the results from this past week for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, they were on the road playing the Richmond Flying Squirrels. They had a game on, what day was that? Tuesday, the 19th, where they won that game 10-7. Lost on Wednesday, the 20th, 7-6. Won on Thursday, the 21st, 9-2. Lost on Friday, the 22nd, 10-5. Lost on Saturday, the 23rd, 5-1. But came back on Sunday, the 24th, and won by the final score of 2-1. They are home this week for a home series against the Portland Sea Dogs. That is the AA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. They lost the game on Tuesday by the final score of 7-3. They lost the game today as we record 6-2. Next couple games they've got a game this upcoming Thursday at 6:07 p.m. Eastern. Should note the Eastern League Championship replica ring giveaway that was supposed to be scheduled earlier this month but got rained out in that monsoon we absolutely had here. It's been rescheduled for that night. If you were planning on going to that, get there early because it's only the first 1,500 fans in attendance get one, and they're going to go quick. You've also got games on Friday the 29th. That one is at 7 o'clock Eastern. Saturday the 30th at 6:07 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Should also note that all this weekend is Military Appreciation Weekend. So the Rumble Ponies are celebrating any one of the proud men and women of the military who have served the country. If you are active or retired personnel, you can receive 4 complimentary grandstand tickets to the game over the weekend. All you have to do is show your military ID at the box office down at the stadium, and you can do that. You get 4 free tickets to the game. So like I said, that is for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday game. So if you happen to be active or former military, first of all, thank you. And then, hey, if you've got nothing going on this weekend, you get an opportunity to go see some baseball for free this weekend, which, hey, not a bad thing.
Can never go wrong with.
Then we got to talk a little bit of entertainment news because PlayStation last week announced the State of Play returning on Tuesday, June 2nd. Now, if you're not familiar, State of Play is the broadcast PlayStation occasionally does. It's not really a set schedule like, on this day of this month, every month they do a broadcast, like showing off some gameplay. It's kind of when they decide to do it. But they're deciding to do one on Tuesday, June 2nd. It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. CEST, and then at 6 a.m. in Japan, which will be on Wednesday at that point. But it'll be a new look at the upcoming Insomniac video game, Marvel's Wolverine. With in their words, 60 minutes of news and announcements for games coming to PS5. The article on the PlayStation blog does read, State of Play returns Tuesday, June 2nd, with more than 60 minutes of updates, announcements, and gameplay reveals from top studios around the world. To kick things off, you'll get a closer look at Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac Games will share more from its upcoming third-person action-adventure game, showing off Logan's brutal and relentless combat, along with some new details. This all-new take on the comic book legend launches on PS5 September 15th. Wow, that is coming quick.
It's coming fast.
That is coming quick. And then it, close quote, and then it goes on to reiterate the dates that I mentioned to you. If you want to watch said broadcast, it'll be on the PlayStation YouTube or Twitch account. If you go to either one of those and watch it live, you'll watch thousands of people ask for a Bloodborne remake because they keep asking for that every year. I'm expecting some big things with this because they don't typically do this part I'm about to mention. They're partnering with the Alamo Drafthouse in the United States to hold live watch parties with it. So tickets will be free, but limited. So if you got to head over to the Alamo Drafthouse website to grab a ticket for one of the locations below, specifically Raleigh, North Carolina, Los Angeles, the San Francisco Bay Area, Chicago, Dallas/Fort Worth, and New York City. So they don't typically do that. That I can remember. If they have, it's been a while. So I would expect some crazy things to get announced at this. Kingdom Hearts 4? Probably not, but I can dream.
Oh, I will never hear the end of that if that gets announced.
Listen, I'm a patient waiter. I waited 13 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. I can wait for 4.
I mean, it's kind of like when we wait for the New York Knicks to cash in on the NBA championship.
Hey.
What do you think? We were going to leave this episode without talking about that? The Knicks have punched their ticket to the finals. We're just waiting on to see who is going to show up for the opponents, whether it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They can take their time.
Or the San Antonio Spurs.
They can take their time.
Either way is going to work because Danhausen is doing his thing, so shout out to him. And the Knicks have won in defiant fashion ever since that curse has been put on. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. But let's just say this: they've been playing lights out. They know the assignment.
They're 11-0 since Danhausen cursed their opponents.
Yep, it's no joke. Like they have really locked it in. They're running the offense through Karl Anthony Towns. Brunson is being saved for the fourth quarter. Mike Brown has done a fantastic job being the head coach this season and building that bench up to now. I mean, I personally want San Antonio. I think we match up a little better in that one. Oklahoma City is going to be a tough test no matter what if they get there. I mean, granted, it's 3-2 as the series is right now.
With Oklahoma City leading.
Right. But either way, I think this is the Knicks' year. They have the team of destiny feel to them. New York City is completely unhinged right now. If you ever want to see a live action of Gotham City go down,
oh Lord,
you won't find Batman, but you'll see just the streets wiling out right now. So it's going to be some fun things. June 3rd is when the playoffs officially kick off. I'm going to already say Knicks in 6.
Listen, all I know is I don't envy anyone in the New York area. I believe it's on June 3rd.
That's the first day of the finals. But the first home game is not.
No, right. No, June 3rd. There's some date, I forget what it is, coming up where the Knicks are playing in the Garden. And I think it might, it might be June 8th. The Knicks, I'm trying to look it up. The Knicks are playing in the Garden, but also France is playing in the World Cup over in the Meadowlands on the same friggin' day.
It'll be a wild time in the
city. So
if
you live in the city, traffic might be a little bit of a headache that day.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, so definitely watch out for that, but I think this is the time for the Knicks to cash it in. I think it's going to be a fun series no matter who they face.
100%.
And just see New York light up like that is something amazing. One story before we get to the comic picks of the week, in case anybody has not heard, New Titans 38 by DC Comics is going to be a very, very important issue because after a tease, we finally have official confirmation that the one and only Static will be joining the series.
Huh.
So, reading the official press release from DC Comics, Static takes a pivotal role in the next chapter of DC's New Titans comic book with issue number 38 arriving this August, marking Virgil Hawkins' first major DC Universe storyline of appearance following his reemergence in DC KO's The Kids Are All Fight special. And at the conclusion of the DC New History of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident. As the Titans face a looming crisis in the Amazon rainforest, Static becomes a key force in the story that will carry the series through the end of the year. So very exciting to see. The new series has been a fun read so far. A lot of question marks about this team right now, and I know after the Kids Are All Fight special came out, fans were expecting to see Static. It's been a while since he's gotten here, but he's here now. So the roster is kind of blown up right now, too. So with him on the team, we're talking 9 members, which is a lot to balance out. So we'll kind of have to see how the storyline ultimately goes. But to see him back on a mainstream DC book is exciting to see. We'll just have to see about getting that regular series going.
Yeah.
That said, we close out always talking some new comic book day picks. So, Pat, what you got?
I'm going to recommend Ultimates issue number 24 from Dennis Camp and the wonderful folks over at Marvel. This one reads, Year 2 of the Ultimate Universe nears its end in the final issue of Ultimates. She-Hulk and her remaining teammates confront the villainous Hulk in a brutal all-or-nothing battle on Gamma Island. Let's not forget Hulk, super powerful in this universe. He's got the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
This fight, hellacious, knockdown, drag out, everything you would have wanted. It's all leading to Ultimate Endgame issue number 5, which is coming out relatively soon, I would say. But what happens after that? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Dennis Camp run with Ultimates, though, fan-freaking-tastic. Cannot recommend it enough. Then from Jordan Morris, you have Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity issue number 2. This is a 5-issue series where basically Norman Osborn, after his most recent foray as taking the mantle of Spider-Man in Peter's absence recently, came to the realization that, hey, the other spider heroes aren't quite up to snuff and need a little bit of training. So the description of this one is Survival 101. The former Green Goblin trains the spider heroes, but is Norman slipping back into his old devious ways? While Miles, Gwen, and the other students battle through Professor Osborn's School of Hard Knocks, another terrifying threat rises, one that none of the spiders are prepared to face. Close quote. I maintain, and I have said it for a while now, I do not believe Norman Osborn's BS. He can put on a face. He can have Peter co-sign off it. All he wants. Some spots don't change. And I really do think at some point, and I hope it's during the Joe Kelly run, because the Joe Kelly run has been amazing. I'm really hoping at some point Norman slips back into his old ways, because it's only so long it can keep a Green Goblin down.
I'm banking around 1,000. Issue
Probably.
1,000. I mean, it makes the most sense to do it then.
Probably. Then also from Marvel, you got Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Echoes of the Empire, issue number 2 from Ethan Sachs. This one is Hunted by Darth Vader. Princess Leia, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and C-3PO scramble to track down an informant in the Black Spire outpost. Will they escape a trap set by Vader himself? What is Oga's grand plan to play both the Rebellion and the Empire? So this one is super fun. It takes place on Batuu, which is, of course, the name of the land for Star Wars in the Disney Hollywood Studios, Florida, over in California, various places around the world. This one is set in between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Han's in Carbonite right now. Luke, Leia, Chewie, all them looking for some information, looking to find it. Vader gets called. Shenanigans ensue. There's a couple fights in this that, I'll be honest, I would have loved to have seen in live action. Mm-hmm. There's also a panel at the end of this issue that is absolutely tremendous and leaves me going, ooh, can't wait for issue 3. So you cannot go wrong with this one. Then from the folks at Dark Horse, you've got Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, Pathfinders issue number 2 from George Mann. Listen, if George Mann is the author on any book you're going to read, especially a Star Wars one, pick it up. You won't regret it. The description of this one is on their way to investigate a mysterious comms disturbance. The Pathfinder team is caught in a hyperspace abnormality. As the abnormality and its monstrous inhabitants threaten to trap the Pathfinders forever, they send a desperate distress call into the galaxy. And the answer comes in the form of a fan-favorite High Republic character. Can the team escape before they are lost to the darkness between the stars? You'll have to read and see. But this one, absolutely great. The situation they get themselves into in this one, I don't know if we've ever seen in a Star Wars story before. So it's something different, something unique. But you know what? despite the fact they Star Wars it up a little bit, it still works. It's still a great read. And plus, the good thing with this is, even if you haven't kept up or read all of the High Republic stuff, if you know just the basics of Star Wars, Jedi, they're in the Republic era, all that, you're good to go. So it's an easy jumping on point.
Definitely wanted to go check that out. As for me, listen, I'm just going to shout out my team over at Fanlight Zone.
Hey.
40 plus reviews this week.
Nice.
So if you want to find out the picks of the week, head over to fanlightzone.com. Check out the comic section. Check out the YouTube page as well. We got new interviews up. And we got reviews up there too. We got a lot of stuff going on. Like I alluded to at the beginning of the show, we're very busy over here. So definitely go check us out. Let us know what you think. Spread the word, because that's how we grow the new home of comics pop culture. That all said, for anything and everything, it is the ODPH. You can find it at odphpodcast.com. That's it for this week. So for the one only Padawan J.
Rest in peace, Kyle Busch. Gone way too soon.
I'm your host, Ken M. Thank you as always for listening to the ODPH podcast. We'll see you next time.